I wonder if you can give us an update right now on the Thrive 2055 process and the Chamber's participation with the regional neighbors.
Sure. And you have to start there at the beginning, and because the beginning wasn't so long ago, that's relatively easy to do. So Thrive just completed its third year. And when it was begun, thought about 4 years ago, kicked off 3 years ago, the plan was, let's study for 36 months our region and include as many people from as many different life segments across this region, identified as 16 counties. And so, yes, it includes a couple from Georgia and it includes a couple from Alabama, along with those here that border Hamilton County. Let's look at our big neighborhood, our region, and what's important to people as they look to the future. Simple question, what's important? And then if we can determine what's important, let's look at that at the end of 3 years and decide, so what? And so think of the first 3 years as the planning and the research stage. And what came back from that work is that the natural treasures that we have here, the mountains, the terrain, different from the mountains, the water, what else is just within a short period of us, the kind of weather that we have, and what's in there. What are the national parks? What are the local parks? What are the state parks? What's out there to be taken advantage of, and how are they operated? That one came out as one. We like where we live, number one. The rest in really no order. What about our future? What about the education of our young people and our multi-generational? It's not just who's in K-12, but it's all of us, me, you, everybody. And so we want to make sure that we keep our eyes on what's happening and participate in education. We knew that it would be a critical success factor for the future, so education was the second one. Transportation, getting around here. We know because we are at the juncture of two interstates. And if you go in the Thrive region, those 16 counties, you get to 3 interstates. And there's a lot of traffic coming through here. Most of it that has nothing to do with anything that we do, except that the road goes through here. That's not bad. That's not necessarily good. But just know what it is. We knew that it's growing so fast that we should be thinking about, because that's a long-term issue, longer than any of the others, what should the transportation, what could it be in a negative way? And then what do you want to do about it? What can we do about it that turns the negative into a positive? And then the third one is, or the last one, the fourth one was regional development, economic development. So if we have a business that visits Chattanooga or one of our adjoining communities and say, I like most of what you've got, but we're looking at another state, 1,000 miles away. Well, why? If it's because here we lack some component that they're interested in, do we have that component within the Thrive region? We want to keep them in the region. If you can't be in the city of Chattanooga, be in Hamilton County. If you can't be in Hamilton County, be close to us, be part of what we all have going on. And so there were others that came out of the study, but those 4 topics, all of the research teams, the steering committee, and the others say these are what's important to this region collectively, the people from counties north of here, the counties south of here and all. And so we got around that and said, okay, the planning, the exploration part of this study is over now. And if we're serious about watching these other 4, doing something about these 4, then what do we want to do and how do we do it now in a go position? They're all at various stages of maturing then. The natural treasures have been here for hundreds of years, if not more, and some of them are somewhat protected. Some of them are identified and publicized. There are others that can be. There are those that are involved in this that could be involved in more than. And so preservation of natural treasures and the appreciation of natural treasures is really functioning in an operating mode now fairly well. Transportation, we know will take a little longer. Within the state of Tennessee, our elected officials tell us, they give us your best idea today, and it'll probably be 10 years before we actually get to helping you implement that. Well, that's a long-term goal. Economic development, we have a high spirit of cooperation in the Thrive region to do as I explained, and that is if you can't be here, be with my friend. If you can't be with my friend, be with our friend, and do what we can to make them part of our greater community. Valker Chemical is in Charleston, Tennessee. That's not Hamilton County. And that's kind of an example of how this works. And the last one about making sure that we have workforce, which has many parts to something that sounds relatively simple, but doing as much as we can to have a strong basis of skilled labor in this region is very important. No one of us, the 16 counties, has a problem really that another one doesn't have as well. And so as we work on that whole solution, it's to our advantage to be joined in that solution. And so those are the four that came out of it. And so now on a go-forward basis, they take on their own life. They will basically be funding themselves as their needs are. And while Chattanooga and Hamilton County did give it wings in the beginning, why now it's much more independent. It'll have its own product, and those who feel very strongly about participating in that are absolutely welcome to do that.